So we are live. We are live officially on the Clock app and on Substack. So good morning, everybody. Welcome. Come on in. I am so happy to be here. Hello, Washington Robin, Jacqueline Lemon. Come on in the room. Say hello. Promise you I will not bite. I'm actually a really nice person. I really am. Um, but just I am a Leo. Don't get on my bad side. Don't get on my bad side, and we'll be all right. So, welcome everybody. Let me make sure I got my notes pulled up because this menopausal brain will have me forgetting. Yes. How are you, Goddess Jacqueline? It's good to be seen, honey. My grandma used to say that. All right, Virgo. All right. Virgo's in my chart too. So, yes. Okay. All right, y'all. Let's get into this juicy conversation because um, let me just do a recap. So, last week on my social media, I posed the question. And it came from a place where, number one, this is something I've always been thinking about for as far back as I can remember. Um, but I was listening to an audiobook by Jen Sincero, You're a Badass with Money or whatever, that book. And I'm really loving the book. I'm almost done with it. But I was listening to that book and I started kind of multitasking as I often do. That's that ADHD brain, along with the sprinkle of menopause, baby. Um, so I was scrolling, and I think I was scrolling on Substack, and I was looking, and I was like, "Hey, Goddess Nikki," I was like, "Where are the Black Mel Robinses? Where are the Black Brene Browns? Where are the Black Jen Sinceros? Where are the Black Gabby Bernsteins? All of these household names as it relates to the self-help arena. I'm like, where are these Black women? Where are they? And I was thinking, I was like, thank you, thank you. I was wondering, I was like, well, who are the household names? There you go, Goddess Jacqueline. I was like, okay, so we got Iyanla, we have Lisa Nichols, and then I draw a blank because I can't really think of anybody else. Now, someone else brought up Queen Afua, and I was like, yes, in the spiritual and holistic circles, she is very much a guru in that right. But I was like, but there are so many that are white that have enormous, enormous followings. And I'm like, but where are the Black women that are like this? Let alone the Black men, because, we got Tony Robbins, we got Gary Vaynerchuk, you've got Brendan Burchard, you have, my mind is going blank because I literally just listened to his book, Russell Brunson. So we have all of these people who are not Black that are these household names, these big gurus. And I was like, okay, but where are my people at? Let alone Black women. So I was like, me being a Black woman who is a spiritual coach, who is a healer, my name is Allison. I am a spiritual liberation coach for Black women who are 40 and over. I am also a Reiki master healer and teacher at my school, the Sacred Pathway Academy. All right. Now, but yeah, I was like, where they at? Where they at? I don't see them. I don't know where they are. So the responses that I got on that social media post, on because I posted on Substack, and I also posted on TikTok. The responses that I got, hello, Goddess Quayle, were very interesting and kind of heartbreaking. So I was like, okay, well, I feel led to kind of talk about this a little bit more. So I knew I was going to do some writing, but then Spirit was like, yeah, you can write about it, but you need to be talking about this too. Because since you are a coach, you are a Black woman who is in this self-help life coaching arena, you are trying to make a name for yourself. You need to talk about this and how it impacts you and other Black women who are also in these sacred spaces. So I want to thank you all who came to the live yesterday. The replay is posted on the tube that is you, as well as on Substack. Yes, Tuesday blessings. So those things are posted if you want to check them out. I would encourage you to do so. The writings that I've done, the videos, check it all out. Hello, Goddess, everything, Aaron. So let's just go on and jump on in with today. So I did a post yesterday, which is the part 2, and I want to talk about why Black women make the best coaches and guides. Okay. And I did not stutter when I said that. I'm saying it with my whole chest, standing 10 toes down on this statement, because I believe it to be true, and I'm about to prove it to you in these points. All right. Oh, thank you. That was so pretty. I love that. I love pretty things. I love pink and all that stuff. I'm a girly girl in that way. So when I say that we as Black women make the best coaches, the best spiritual guides, I'm not just saying that to blow smoke up our asses or to puff us up or anything like that. I'm just speaking facts. Okay. So let me tell you and start with point number 1 as to why I believe this about Black women. So point number 1, we know how to rise. As Black women, we know how to rise because we're often placed at the bottom of the social hierarchy. Yeah. And that position teaches us survival and leadership. Because it inadvertently, because of putting us in that lower position where we're looking at everybody else that's above us, supposedly, allegedly above us, because I think none are above us. But in the social hierarchy is what I'm talking about. When we're looking at those people, we're seeing what not to do. We're looking at what they're doing and we're like, I wouldn't have done it like that. That doesn't make sense to do it that way. So we learn how to be leaders. We learn how to survive. I mean, this is why you see a lot of people who are not Black crashing out and talking about, I can't believe what's happening right now. I can't believe this is how the country is going. Everything about what I learned was a lie and all this other stuff. And meanwhile, we of the 92% are sitting there looking at you like, we've been telling y'all this is how it is. We've been showing you this. We've been telling you, I don't know what else to say. Welcome to the world. How you doing? So we know this stuff. And we've also been the unsung heroes of leadership. We just never got the credit, right? We never got the credit. So how many times have we learned about these beautiful, brilliant, amazing Black women who were key pieces to the civil rights movement, that were key players in the Montgomery bus boycott, who are key players even now in the political scale and scope that we're in right now. We see this. We are right here in this, and we see it. Just saying never heard or imagined something like that, but in all earnest, Black women, I do not believe, have the disadvantage you speak of. Okay, well, that's your opinion, and you're entitled to it. But we've been the unsung heroes that a lot of times we don't get the credit for how we add to a movement, add to a company, add to the country, whatever the case may be. So when credit lands elsewhere, we as Black women still rise. We know how to do it. And a lot of this that we deal with traces back to those Abrahamic religions, right? Because they are chock full of patriarchy, where it puts the woman below the man. So in Abrahamic faith, it's man, woman, children, or God, man, woman, children. Men put themselves closer to God and pull us further from God. And nothing can be further from the truth. Nothing can be further from the truth. And so we as Black women, we know how to overcome obstacles, because we're always having to overcome obstacles, right? But we also know how to get up, get dressed, and just do the doggone thing. Because again, our survival that we've been taught by the world dictates that we do that. Hey, Chantel. Hey, Goddess. Welcome in. So I want you to name a woman in your life who held everything together, but rarely got the credit for it. Who is the woman in your life that held everything together and rarely got the credit for it, rarely got the flowers for it? She was like the back unsung hero of your life, which takes me into my next point. With Black women, we're often the matriarch behind the curtain. Yes, and I would say that about my grandmothers. And as I go into this next point, you'll understand. Yes, Goddess Quayle. Yes, my mother. So as quiet as it's kept in Black families, they're often matriarchal. We don't want to admit it. And a lot of the Christian upbringing would dictate that we don't say that it's matriarchal. But the fact of the matter is, it's often the mother, the grandmother, the great-grandmother who is holding everything together in that family. The grandmama is the one that gives you the advice, or she tells you the truth and tells it like flat out, you know, whether you want to hear it that way or not. She's often the one, you know, that elder woman is usually going to give it to you straight, and it might not feel that great when you receive it, but when you sit in it for a little while, you're like, well, yeah, she's right. I was being stupid. Yeah, I was, you know, not really doing the best that I could on that, right? But not only the advice, but the meals, the soul food that nurtures you, that gives you that comfort. Everybody, I know, like both of my grandmothers. Now, my mother's mother was not the best cook, but she had her signature dishes. And when I think about that, sometimes it's like, Lord have mercy. I would love to have a plate of my grandmama's dressing. She made great dressing. Every Thanksgiving, Lord have mercy, her dressing was top tier to me. I don't know what she did. Okay. I don't know what her secret was. All right. I should have been paying attention and I wasn't. But I could feel her loving that dish. My father's mother, sweet potato pie. Love the mustard. Sweet potato pie. Yes, Goddess Quayle. Both of my grandmamas did good on pound cakes too. But sweet potato pie was my big mama's signature dish. You could literally feel and taste all that love coming from her soul, right? And then there's that money. You know, she slides a little something to you. Don't tell your mama I gave you this. Ooh, oxtail, mullet fish, and apple pie. All right now, girl. Slide you a little money, be like, don't tell your mama. And this sometimes it be your great aunties or your aunties that slide you a little something. To this day, I have an auntie that will come and hand me money and put it in my hand like it's, you know, a big secret or whatever. But that's the magic of the Black woman, right? And then the prayers. The prayers. I say this all the time. The prayers from both of my grandmamas, because I had two praying grandmothers. They cover me to this day. Them prayers are covering me to this day. And I know I had prayers over me because some of the foolishness that I got into in my younger days, it couldn't be nothing but prayer. They brought me out on the other side of the foolishness. Okay. I'm just going to be honest. Just going to be honest about that. Because yes, I've deconstructed, but I still believe in the power of prayer. Oh, thank you. Thank you. I got goals up there too, y'all. Don't neglect the goals and keep the hearts coming. And same thing on Substack. Keep the hearts coming. Those women held things together. And like I said, yes, because of patriarchy, oftentimes granddaddies, and the granddaddies were great. Don't get it twisted, because I love both of my granddaddies. But let's be honest, a lot of our granddaddies would have been lost without our grandmamas. Let's just be real. They would have been lost. Now, some people are not going to like this when I say this, but I do think that some of the traditions and recipes, if you will, not necessarily food, but just things about holding the family together, keeping ourselves in this cohesion of the matriarchal, we're losing those recipes. We're backing away from that. And I get it. We're deconstructing. We're learning that some of the things in our families weren't so great. We're kind of toxic. Now, I'm not talking about the people, if your family is just like a hellscape of people where it's just like, okay, burn all this shit down because everybody is terrible. I ain't talking to you. Okay. But I am talking about how we are really quick to cut off our family members, that it's not because they're really bad. It's just that they might say some shit that you don't agree with, because they're telling you the truth and won't let you sit in foolishness. A lot of people are doing that. I'm not saying everybody is doing that, but a lot of people are doing that. A lot of people are cutting off their family and saying that it's toxic, it's this, it's that. And a lot of times it's not necessarily that it's toxic. It's just that they're saying something that you just don't agree with. And you're not allowing yourself to really sit in what they're saying. But that's a whole other topic. So what's one of the recipes in your family, the traditions, whether it's literal or spiritual? What's something that you are protecting? And I think about this even more, thought about this with Goddess Everything Erin, who's over here on TikTok. I just read one of her posts on Substack about her ancestry, and I love that so much. I feel that it's so important for us to connect to our ancestors, to do research within our own bloodlines so that we can bring back a lot of the things that are in our DNA that we've lost. You know, the traditions, the spiritual connections, the holistic protections. Like, you know, if hoodoo is in your family bloodline, or any other spiritual practices that were in your family bloodline, but because of colonization, people moving away, and all these different things, I think it's important for us to reconnect with those things. And I love that a lot more of us as Black women especially are starting to lean into that. Thus, brings me back to my point about us being the ones that are most qualified and the best in being the coaches and the healers of our community. Number 3, we're natural born leaders. If you want to know the truth about it, we've been leaders forever. We were warriors who fought alongside our male counterparts. We've been running households and communities as survival. I am a huge MCU fan. I love Marvel comics, movies, etc. The one thing I love about Black Panther is the Dora Milaje. Those are some badass women, okay? The bald heads, the outfits, the just sheer just badassery of it all. I love them. And quiet as it's kept, they're based on someone that's really true, a tribe that's really true. I don't know all the logistics of it. Somebody might know it in the comments. But from my understanding, it was based off of. Now, all the vibranium and all that kind of stuff, of course, that's television. But again, you can't ignore the history of who we were as a people. We were warriors. And somebody brought up a really good point. Thank you. That's the name I could not think of, Goddess Erin. Thank you, the homie. Yes. Somebody brought something up really important on TikTok the other day. And she was talking about how colonization made women's bodies sexualized. Because women, Black women and Indigenous women, would be topless. And nobody would bat an eye. Nobody would care. They'd be able to feed their young and do those things that are natural without being sexualized. But once the colonization came, that's when all of that started coming with it. So we've been the leaders. We've been in these positions. And what colonization taught the world and also taught us is to see ourselves as less than because we're women. So let's reclaim this. Let's reclaim our roots of being the leaders. We didn't lose leadership. We lost the credit for it. Okay, so you really don't have to be on my live. If you don't agree with what I'm talking about, you can always leave. I didn't ask you to be here. You can leave. That's somebody on Substack. So we didn't lose leadership. We just lost the credit for it. That's it. We lost the credit for it. So, point number 4, the balance we carry as Black women. We know how to balance between the divine masculine and the divine feminine, which we all carry, male and female. no matter who you are, we all carry the divine feminine and divine masculine energy. So we understand structure and softness as well as action and intuition. So these are the things that we as Black women, especially now as a lot of us are stepping into these spiritual spaces, we're understanding this importance of that balance. Because Abrahamic religion and colonization taught us to forget that stuff, because we can't hold both. You have to be feminine. You have to just have that energy. Hey, Nine Ether Being, how are you? A woman is only the divine feminine and a man is only the divine masculine, which is not true. We all have both within us. So since we have that within us, it's better for us to be the ones to show and teach about these things. So we have had to relearn the fluidity of balancing both the divine masculine and divine feminine just to survive and provide, which means we know the terrain of this. And I go into more detail talking about this in my book, The 7 Steps of Spiritual Liberation for Black Women. I talk about the balance of the divine masculine and divine feminine. And I think for tomorrow's live, I might read a little bit about that to go into a little bit more detail. Excuse me. So I'm going to say this. What people get mixed up with on the divine feminine and the divine masculine. So with the divine masculine also has the energy of nurture within it. It does, there's nurturing energy within the divine masculine. There's also patience. There's a lot of heart chakra energy within the divine masculine. The divine feminine has a lot more warrior tendencies, if I may say. What is mine? Okay. If I can say so, the divine feminine is not all mushy, and the divine masculine is not all like super tough, incredible Hulk. There's softness and structure within both energies, and we learn how to navigate those. So we need these to keep us grounded so we don't overly abstract, and so that we can be able to be positive role models for the future generations, as well as the people that we are coaching, that we are healing, to help and show how to model these behaviors. And Black women just know how to do that very well. The next thing is we teach self-love because we've had to fight for it. Can I get an amen on a Tuesday? That we've had to fight for self-love because we are the most scrutinized. Our hair, our skin, our bodies, our voice, our mannerisms. Hey, Goddess pals, we've had to fight for that. We're scrutinized over and over again for how we speak, for how we look, for our hair. People always talking about the texture of our hair, how we're wearing it. Is it weave? Is it not? Why are you dyeing it? Why is this? Why is that? Because we can and we want to. Agreed. Because we can. And even with all that scrutiny, we still know how to show up whole. We still know how to show up and show out in all our divine femininity and beauty. We still know how to do it. And we are the best teachers to show people how to do those things. We know how to teach you how to embody that main character energy, because we've had to do that for ourselves. I'm the main character in every room I step in, whether they want me to be or not. We can teach it. We've had to build it for ourselves. Yes. And then not to mention, Black women with the healing hands, the prayers, the readings, the words that shift somebody's whole day. The way we give compliments can shift the energy of one person's whole day. How many times have you seen videos of people talking about, I just got a compliment from a Black woman and it made my whole day. I just had a conversation with a Black woman who she just hyped me up so well. Nobody gives compliments like we give compliments. Nobody gives love the way we give love. And our love is not sparingly given. We give our all. We give our all. And sometimes it's to our detriment, but still, that's what we do. That's why we're known as the mothers of civilization. Yeah, yeah. So have you ever had a Black woman pray over you? Have you ever had a Black woman read you? Like give you a reading that shakes you to your core? Like, dang, was she in the room with me yesterday? How she know all that? How she know? Ever had one to just hold your hands, look you in the eye like she is peering into your soul and cleansing everything that has gone wrong with your whole day? Or have you just been in proximity to a Black woman who just happens to speak the right, words at the right time, right on time? So let's go back to the original when it comes to this, of how I'm asking where are the Black Brene Browns and Mel Robinses and all these other big name mainstream coaches that are not Black? Because there is a cost for Black women being this powerful. There's a cost. People take advantage of our gifts and they try to shrink us. They'll say things like, we're too much, we're too loud, we're too ghetto, we're too this, we're too that. I mean, look at what they did to VP Harris. All the criticisms toward her had absolutely nothing to do with her policies. It always had something to do with her laugh, or something about her that, again, had nothing to do with her policies. Same thing with Jasmine Crockett. All these criticisms of all these powerful Black women who were in the position to save us from ourselves. But because there's something about us as Black women, you want all of the good that we have to offer, but you just don't want us to get too high. You don't want us to excel too much. You don't want us to be successful. That's why, you'll only see just like a few of us be successful in certain things, because they don't want too many of us doing that. And let's be real, a lot of us don't want it for each other either. Because the hard truth is, sometimes we, as Black women, are really, really hard on each other because we are still wrestling with patriarchal things like misogyny, jealousy, and tearing each other down. So going back to the original of what I talked about yesterday with the whole community thing, we don't really show up for each other because we keep seeing each other as competition. We can't let that go of seeing each other as competition. And I'm just going to say this. As I've been on social media, I have interacted and met several Black women who are Reiki practitioners, Reiki masters, who are tarot and oracle readers, who are life coaches, who are spiritualists, herbalists, yoga teachers, and all this other stuff. And all the ones of the things that I just named where I fit into those categories, guess what? I'm not jealous of them because I can't be them and they can't be me. There's only one me. I have my own secret sauce to add. And the people that are for me to lead, to teach, to guide, to coach, to heal, to help, those are people, they're designated for me. Can there and will there be overlap? Of course. Of course. What I can't teach, Goddess Kyra, that's on Substack, who is a powerful teacher and coach, who has such beautiful wisdom that she shares. And all of these beautiful Black women that I see day in, day out, have their own medicine. What I love is a Garifuna healer that I was connected to. Her name is Arzu Mountain Spirit. And I will never forget, one of my favorite things about talking with her is how she always called whatever it is that you have to offer to this world, medicine. She called it medicine. And she would ask, what medicine are you giving today? So the yoga that Goddess Chantel teaches, the stories that Goddess Erin writes, the teachings that Goddess Kyra does, walking with ancestors, all of these beautiful beings have their own medicine. Yes, Goddess Kyra, you are love. That is medicine. Absolutely. We all have that medicine within us. So why am I viewing you as my competition? You are not. My sister is not my competition. She is my complement. And I am hers. So why would I tear her down? Why wouldn't I share her stuff with other people? If I feel like it could help, I'm going to share it. I'm going to send somebody to her. Goddess Nikki, who helps you with their body positivity and help you learn how to lean into your sensuality and feel good about yourself. Why wouldn't I send somebody to Goddess Nikki? How many women who struggle with how they feel about their bodies, how they feel about, being a sensual being and undoing and deconstructing the teachings to make us ashamed of our bodies. That's the cost of us being this powerful. So what I want to do, and what I'm encouraging each and every one of you to do, some of you already have these in place, but I would encourage you to connect with a group of women. Don't make it a big group. You just need maybe 3 to 5 people. Connect with other spiritual coaches, healers, etc., who are Black women and create masterminds. And these aren't masterminds where, it's not like, I'm not talking about the circles where I teach, people pay me and everything else. I'm not talking about those masterminds. We still need those, by the way. I am a business owner, by the way. Yeah. But I'm talking about in sisterhood. Get with your sisters, have the support, share information, talk shop with one another. Like, if I'm with a group of other Reiki masters, there's a similarity that we have together of things that we can share, talk about, talk through, etc. That only if you do that, you would understand. Because if I'm talking to somebody else about Reiki or anything like that, if you're not trained on it, you'll be like, okay, well, that sounds interesting, but it won't be the same. It won't hit the same. So I'm encouraging women to come together, because I don't know if y'all really understand this. And I talk about this all the time. But since 2020, when whatever portal opened up and the veil started thinning, we have been receiving the call to step into our power as Black women, because we are the leaders, we are the guides, but we got to start with our own communities first. Start with ourselves, start with our own communities first, and then branch out. And tomorrow I'm going to talk more about the whole mainstream thing and what I mean by that, and everything else. So that'll be a post that'll be on Substack, and then we'll talk about it live as well. So I'm going to pull a card, and this is coming from the Sacred Journey Oracle deck by Vicky Ayala. She is a brand strategist, and when I'm coaching coaches, this is the deck I use, because a lot of us need this medicine so that we can overcome some things. So everybody point your energy to the cards. And let's go ahead and get a message before we part this place. I hope everybody has enjoyed this message and has been enjoying this series so far. Let me know in the comments if you have been enjoying it. If you've not been up on it, that's okay. You can always go. You can always go and check everything out. It's still there. Okay, I'm dropping stuff because, I've been dropping. And no, those aren't jumping cards. That's me just not paying attention to what I'm doing. I always know the difference between the ones that are jumping and the ones that I'm dropping, because I'm not focused. I'm not focused. Okay. This card comes up a lot and I love it though. Genesis. So when I say the word Genesis, what comes to mind? There's no right or wrong answer. Put it in the comments. What comes to mind when I say the word Genesis? And I'm going to read it. From the moment your aha light bulb is formed, it becomes a living extension of you. From the moment your aha light bulb is formed, it becomes a living extension of you. So from the moment that idea, from the moment that aha, from the moment that clarity comes, that clear moment, that clear thought, that first, that new, as Goddess Kyra said, new life, yes. From the moment that comes, it becomes an extension of you. So that means that you're now responsible for it. And you can either act on it or not. But I would encourage you, my sisters, to act on it. See where it takes you. Step out there. No more dipping the toe and be like, oh, I don't know, girl, that water is kind of cold. Or I don't know. Step on out there and see what happens. Yes, God is everything, Aaron. Beginning. See what happens. Because once you've gotten the vision, once that aha has hit, you're now responsible for it. So I need you all to step into your power. You are needed. You are ready. And you got this. I'm walking with you. Okay? Yes, walking with the ancestors. Beginnings. Yes. I'm walking with you. So thank you all for tuning in. I appreciate you. I love you all very much. And we'll talk again tomorrow. And who knows where this conversation is going to go, because I'm just, I'm wondering now if this is going to end up being like a book or a course or something, because I feel like this is a big conversation. But we'll see. All right, y'all. Have a wonderful day, and I will talk to you all later on. Bye for now.